So if you're like me and you grew up in the 80s or 90s and your first racing simulator experience was Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 2, you've probably found that there's not a whole lot of well-known options that deliver that same type of racing simulation experience on the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, but there's actually some really good titles that I think you will absolutely love. So Gear Club 3 Unlimited is a Switch 2 exclusive. At first, I wasn't sure if this game was gonna be all that great, but I looked at some reviews and decided, what the heck, I'm gonna try it out and buy it. And I'm actually really surprised at how much fun this game is. And one of the biggest things to me is the physics of the game actually feel more like a racing simulator and less like Mario Kart. Now, I love Mario Kart, but that game is not even gonna make it on this list because I don't feel like it's a racing simulator, it's just a racing game. Gear Club has a wide range of real vehicles that you can drive. As you progress through the story mode, you can purchase different vehicles. There's cars all the way from Fiats to Nissan Skylines up to different things like Pagani and Bugattis. And my favorite thing about this game is the customization that you can do to each car is actually a lot of fun. You can customize the performance and you can customize the appearance of the vehicles. Then the next game that I would consider checking out if you want a good driving simulator would be Grid Autosport. Now this game can be played on both the Switch and the Switch 2. This game has a ton of different modes. You can do drift events, you can drive tuner cars, there's a demolition derby event that you can do. There's just all sorts of stuff. And the selection of cars is pretty cool as well. It's not super expansive, but it's still really good. There's a lot of tuner cars and a lot of American muscle cars, and then you even get all the way up into some of the supercars and hypercars that we all love today. And then with this game, I feel like the physics are pretty on point. It's maybe not as realistic as some of the other options out there, but pretty darn close. I really enjoy this game and I've played a lot of it. Now the next game that I would check out is one that I have not bought yet, but that I would love to buy. This is exclusively for the Switch 2. This is Grid Legends Deluxe. I looked at some reviews on this, and if it's anything like Grid Autosport, there is no doubt in my mind that this is even better than that game and provides a really good racing simulation experience. If you've played this game, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Like I said, I haven't bought it yet, but it's on my list. I just wanted to bring it up because I saw that it was released on the Switch 2, and I enjoyed Grid Autosport so much that I think this is probably going to be one of my next purchases when it comes to racing games. Now this game isn't as much of a true simulator, but I think this game is so much fun if you like racing games and if you grew up playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. The Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is so good. Now this can be played on the Switch or the Switch 2. It also has a wide range of vehicles that you get to drive throughout the game, and there's a lot of different modes. You can also do online play with this game as well, which is actually a lot more fun than I figured it would be. If you want to sit down and play a good classic style racing game, I would say this is the one. Now, even though the physics aren't as realistic as some other options out there, the cars are still really easy to control and still get a good racing experience. And then another franchise that I think you should absolutely check out that is maybe not as well known and doesn't get nearly as much love as some of the other options out there is the WRC series. Now these can be played on the Switch 1 or the Switch 2, but I own WRC 8, WRC 9, and WRC 10. If you're looking for a stage rally game that is extremely realistic in terms of just how difficult it is and how close it is to if you were to actually drive a rally car, this game is an absolute killer. Now, what I like about this game is that it focuses heavily on off-pavement driving, specifically rallycross and stage rally. I'm a huge rally fan. I love stage rally. I try to spectate at all the ARA events that are anywhere near me whenever they are happening. And this game allows you to sort of have a pretty realistic simulation experience of driving an actual rally car. Now, there is a downside to this game, and this is one of the reasons why I'm mentioning this game last, but the online servers, from what I can tell, are no longer active, which means you can't do online play anymore. However, you can still get this game and have a boatload of fun. I actually purchased them on sale, and if you find a good deal on any of these three games, I think they are well worth it, and I've had a ton of fun playing them. it really does take a lot of dedication to learn the physics of the game and to get good at operating the vehicles. It's super challenging, like 100% probably one of the hardest racing simulators that I've ever played. Now, I'm sure I'm missing some games in this lineup. I just wanted to share these games in particular because they're options that I have experience with. I know Grid Legends I don't own yet, but based on my experience with the previous game, I absolutely want to check it out, and I would recommend most people check it out. So I'm sure I missed some here, but if you've played a good racing simulator on the Switch or the Switch 2, I would love to hear about it. I'm always on the hunt for a good racing game. And even though games like Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart World are a ton of fun, they are intended to be a different type of experience. They're not made to be real driving simulators. And there are certain times where that's all I want. I just want a driving simulator. I want to turn my Switch on, have an experience that feels like I'm actually driving a real car. So drop those other recommendations in the comments, and thanks for hanging out.